Hello, Eric. I'm still working on the audio. Forgive me. Of course, my first person to come through was an audio guy. I'm thinking I'm going to mute this.
No, there's no sound on the YouTube link.
Yeah, I muted it because I was. Thanks, Kim. I muted it because I was getting feedback, but I should have. See, this is why I don't like to engineer and be talent at the same time. Okay, Nick, I'm getting a smaller desktop now. And now there is officially sound. Maybe we'll get more than 2 people at the same time.
So the delay is
Substantial.
about a minute, yeah.
Yeah, I could make it less. But there's consequences to that in terms of buffering and
Right.
quality.
This is why I was showing why I look to the side, because I've got 3 monitors in front of me
Ah,
and my 5.1 setup.
I don't have an easy way of turning any of these cameras. But I need one right here instead of right there.
Right.
Because or I need to move like the reference monitor to like right here. Maybe, I don't know. Depends on if I get more than 2 viewers, but I have a teleprompter that makes it nice because I can put the feed in the prompter, so I'm looking at people directly. Nick, did you fall out?
No, I'm still here.
All right.
I'm still here. Just in camera.
So, Eric, you live in Philly?
I live in Lansdowne.
Lansdowne. Yeah, I'm very familiar with the
near
Lansdowne.
Media.
Yeah. Lansdowne or Lansdale? Lansdowne.
Lansdowne.
Yeah, I lived in Alden for 10 years.
Oh, okay.
And my wife is a Prendy girl. And they lived in Lansdowne and Upper Darby when she was a child.
I like it over here.
Yeah. It's in a constant state of,
Yeah.
it's not bad, but so I live in Phoenixville now, which was in that, it's up and coming, but it's been up and coming for 20 years.
Right.
But I think Phoenixville finally up and came. And I feel like Lansdowne has that capacity to turn into something that's really a destination.
They just passed the liquor thing because it was a dry town instead of it was a dry town up to last year.
I didn't know that they had passed that. I know that because my mother-in-law lives in Ocean City, New Jersey, which also is dry. So we had been following both of them. That should make, and hopefully I haven't been there in a while. We moved here 4 years ago, but they were working on getting the movie theater kind of renovated and turning it into an event space. There we go.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hey Nick. How you doing? Yes. Nick, say hi to Eric. Eric, hi Nick.
Hey.
Nick is a vidiot as well.
It's true.
He works in what is that? Is that upstate New York? Would you say upstate?
Western.
Western. Okay, Western New York. Not far from Buffalo.
2 hours away from Buffalo. An hour directly underneath Rochester.
Underneath what?
Rochester.
Rochester. That's it. All right.
And how are things going up there?
The town is in a state of emergency. there's been 2 confirmed cases, and all the other ones have been cleared, that they're tested. So,
Wow.
and the population is like 5,000, so it's crazy that there was even 2 confirmed cases.
Yeah, I mean, we're all seeing these numbers. I have a feeling that the actual numbers are much, much, much higher.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't know.
I was just watching a town hall with Trump right before I got on with you, and he's pretty determined to open things back up by Easter, by April 15th, regardless of how many cases there are.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably going to. He'll tell people. Sorry, the delay is pretty crazy. He'll tell people that everything's open back up, but I think states and governors will do something very different.
You're talking about the delay between the Facebook or between the YouTube and what we're talking, right?
I turned YouTube off, so it's just a delay going into Rendezvous.
I've only tested this. Oh, that's not true. I had a band that needed to do a thing. They were, I don't know if you guys are familiar with bluegrass at all,
Sure.
but there's a guy called Del McCrory who is kind of a legend in the bluegrass world. He has a kind of a festival every year called Del Fest, and it was his birthday. And this band that I know wanted to say happy birthday to him, but this one guy was in France, and they were all over the place, but they wanted to say it together. So I ended up doing a rendezvous, almost exactly like you're seeing here, with the band's logo in the center and all 5 band members in the frame, and then I just recorded it on my end of all of them in their different locations, saying, "Hey, happy birthday." It's the only time I've used this function of Wirecast. So I'm kind of learning, which is the reason for today. I didn't really have anything to talk about other than I'm a talker, so I can just, talk. But I wanted to test and see what are the, and especially with you two, the ones that chimed in saying, "Hey, yeah, I'll do it." You're a little bit tech savvy, so you're able to click on things and
the only way to really, you have to workshop this stuff live.
Yeah.
It's kind of the only way to figure out problems.
And there's zero pressure here. My number one goal was to just communicate in a different way, and to hopefully maybe get some views on my channel so I can get monetized again, because I've been monetized 4 times and they keep moving the goalpost.
Right. I would like to. What I've been interested in is having remote spotting sessions since post, and being able to do remote spotting sessions would really open me up to be able to work with more people outside of the Philly area.
And you need near zero latency for that, right?
I would think so, yeah, to be able to watch in the same. I think maybe you can do something like that through Frame.io.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a couple services that offer. They don't say zero latency. They say near zero latency. But I specifically didn't pick that. You have a zero latency. Nick is now available. Wait a minute. Nick, you're already available. Are you available again, Nick? Oh, he froze on me and then came back as another person. And I'm still... There we go, Nick. Let's take this and add this, and Nick. Who's banging on the pipes?
That's my heater.
Yeah, I started laundry. I'm in the basement, although you can't tell necessarily unless you know where my studio is. But I started laundry right before I decided to go live, which means my furnace has been kicking on randomly. And luckily, I think this mic. I mean, Eric, you have you heard anything weird? Has it sounded okay?
You sound good. Nick sounds good. When I hear the delay of my own voice,
Oh,
it sounds like shit. So
Yeah.
I don't.
yeah. I think maybe. I mean, I don't necessarily want to wear cans, so maybe try to find some earbuds that look okay. I know I've got some around.
How
I just-
does my voice sound to you?
You sound perfectly fine. I mean, you're a little
okay.
ever so slightly distant, but that's because you're not, you don't have a cheek
Yeah.
mic. I
Well,
switched
I
to the
am.
wrong camera.
My mouth is 30 inches from the computer.
I need I can't even remember his name. Redmayne? Who's the guy that sits there when I got booted? The guy that sits there on the Joe Rogan show and does all the computer stuff.
I think I know. I mean, I've seen the show once. I know what you're talking about.
I definitely got overly. I'm trying to send somebody a link to the app. You guys are both on the computer, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Do you want me to try it on the phone?
No. I've done it on the. I've used the phone before. Somebody else wanted to join in. They don't have a computer. They were like, how do I do this? And they're not. She's a beautiful person, but she's a artist. It's one of those annoying people that can sit down with a pencil and a piece of paper and create something. If I could do that, I never would have got into video. Awesome. Well, I am gonna do some more setup. I'm gonna build some more templates, so I'm not building it as we go. But to me, I think this was fairly successful. We had as many as 2 people at the same time watching. Oh, look at you! Were those AKG?
They are. I don't even know what I have.
AKG just always has the like the gnarliest kind of looking, as opposed to like mine aren't handy, like the Sony's, like the MDR 6708, I believe, like the industry standard. They look so boring and normal, and where the AKGs look like really impressive. What are you wearing there, Eric?
I'm wearing what is this? I'm wearing Biodynamic DT990 open back.
Yes.
They're probably the best headphones I've had. But they're completely useless for anything other than work that you're doing by yourself in a quiet room. Because they're open back.
My father was in the military, and he was a bit of an audiophile. So growing up, there was like a reel-to-reel record player, dual cassette. He was the first person in the neighborhood to get a CD player. And he got these headphones that you got to think this is pre-internet too. The KOS Pro Triple A or Quadruple A, 4A. If you they're like these plastic, big, over-the-ear studio headphones that if you watch like TV shows like Rockford Files and whatnot from the 70s, and they go into the studio, you'll see them all wearing those headphones. And I now that I'm an audio guy, I've got headphones everywhere, little ones, big ones. I found those costs on, I think, Amazon for a very reasonable price, and I was really wanting to pull the trigger on the headphones Dad wore. They don't even, it's so old school, they don't even have the removable 3.5 millimeter, you know, it's only 1/4 inch. Did I lose you?
I have probably 10 different pairs of headphones that I find each one does something better than the other one, but then it's lacking in some other department.
I was wearing for a while, I was doing sound, not, I guess I was doing more like run and gun camera sound, you know, like feeding a lav and maybe an on-camera mic into a HVX or a DVX. This is giving you some, it's dating me, this story, but I use these, what's the brand? Klipsch. These Klipsch in-ear. They're not noise canceling, because it turns out I'm one of the 2% of the population that gets motion sickness wearing noise canceling headphones. But they're noise isolating, so they were like earplugs with a clip that goes over. Am I looking here? With a clip that goes over, and they were just really nice braided, you know, $200 in-ear earbuds that were really nice for just being discreet. And I was doing a lot of events, and you would walk in and there'd be a band and it would be way too loud, so it was nice to have like plugs in my ear. Sometimes I would just disconnect the other end, so it wasn't even plugged into the camera, but it was still protecting my ears.
So Kelly, I will say that your feed is a little laggy on my end.
Huh. Oh. It's laggy on my end too.
And you pixelate quite a bit.
Huh. We'll have to watch the live stream and see what that is. Because we've dropped 21 frames over 34 minutes.
Like you're frozen right now.
Frozen?
Oh, there you go. You're back.
So I'll have to watch the replay and see where that is. The other thing I've mentioned, I guess, before you came on is my family's upstairs doing Zoom meetings and playing PlayStation, and I'm decided to do this all over Wi-Fi. So I'm probably going to reconnect directly a home run, because my router is in my basement, like right over there. I'm going to home run, hardwire it directly to the router. I do have Fios Gigabit, so I should be able to handle people doing Zoom meetings and playing video games all around. But
Right.
Wi-Fi really can only handle one signal at a time.
Mhm.
It does it very fast, but it can only handle one, what's the word, protocol at the time, or, it can only, at any given moment, it's transferring one bit of data. It can't transfer dozens of bits of data at the same time.
Right. Yeah, because I think our feeds look almost crystal clear, at least on my end, except for yours.
Yeah, and I got a little tiny bit. Oh, I guess it's not bad. I definitely need to. Oh, what is that? I need to mute my notifications. Yeah, download it, and it's not connecting me through your link. All right, let's copy again and try again. Another artist. So, Nick, you have a young family, right? Am I wrong here?
No, I have a 5-year-old and a 2.5-year-old. They're both going stir crazy.
Well, it's tough. I mean, I've been to Allentown, but your area is like you do have an opportunity to get out and, get out in nature, as opposed to being stuck in an apartment in Manhattan.
It's true. We can't go outside except for snowing.
Oh wow. And you, Eric,
They
you're
were pretty depressed when they told us Disney might be canceled.
the
We're
Disney.
supposed to go May 24th.
Oh yeah, we just canceled our
Fingers
trip
crossed.
to Mexico. We had a spring break trip to Mexico planned.
Ugh.
All right.
What do you do, Eric?
I am a production and post-production sound person. So,
Oh.
TV, film, a lot of corporate stuff this year up until,
A week ago.
yeah. Get back to normal, even a month from now. I think there'll be a lot of political work this year, both in post and, ads,
Right?
production stuff for ads. I think there'll be a lot of political work for everyone.
Nice. Yeah, all my gigs for the next 2 months have been postponed.
Yeah.
But we live in such a small area, it's going to be hard to, for the small businesses to really just kind of start back up right again. I don't think they're going to want to spend money anymore. So postponed will probably turn to canceled.
So Nick was not delayed before, but now he's very delayed now.
You're very delayed now as well, Eric.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to speak.
Kelly's good.
Let me switch my device. Hello?
You sound different there.
Do I sound better? I was switched. Now you're
Oh,
hearing
you're
me.
actually delayed now.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. Oh, hold on. I'm delayed because it was giving you both. Check. How's that?
That sounds good.
Yep.
You're hearing me now. You were hearing me before directly from the mic on the computer. Now you're hearing this.
Right, it sounds good.
And
Yep.
I'm also hoping that this is picking up less of the speaker on the computer.
Right, should be.
Yeah, it's quieter.
Oh, there you go. And we've got, there we go. We've got one viewer. Kristen just can't make it. Kristen can't figure out how to make it turn on. Well, guys, I thank you very much for your time. I'm going to be going live randomly over the next 14 to 28 days. So if you see me on, feel free to reach out.
I'll
if you wanna
jump
talk.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on my computer way too much.
Well, like I said, I'm just trying to. I mean, what I'm probably going to end up doing in the next couple of days, and you can see I've got it laid out here. I'm going to just start grabbing equipment that I own and doing quick reviews of here is a Pocket 4K with a Metabones adapter, and ooh, this is my baby right here. I invented this. There's a protocol called NDI. I don't know if you guys are familiar with NDI.
Wow.
And this device will send an NDI signal, but it's not weather resistant. And we were prepping for a job that was going to be outside in all kinds of weather. So I built this waterproof thing. Now it's not in here right now, but right there goes a battery. And the whole thing is powered via battery, and I can send SDI in and out.
Oh, it looks amazing.
Ethernet as well. all with IP68 or 67 rated connectors. This is my favorite thing, but since there's no battery, it doesn't light up. Oh, there's a little on-off button there that has a little red glow to it. And I got SMA adapters, so I can actually, these paddles I can put 10 feet away, like up in the air. The job didn't end up happening, but
Oh, is that what you and Dave were testing?
yeah. And we tested this. This works great for, well, we use it in combination with another equipment that can send data for miles. So basically this box, plug a camera into it, plug an Ethernet cable into this, plug it into this other device that we have, and we can send an HD video signal up to 9 miles.
Oh, yeah.
9 miles line of sight. So we've only tested it at 1.5 miles because, believe it or not, it's hard to find line of sight that's more than 1.5 miles that you have public access to both ends. You know, we ended up going to Valley Forge Park, but even still, it was 1.5 miles was the farthest we could get, where he can stand off the road, I can stand off the road, and we can send a signal and still have line of sight.
Wouldn't be a problem up here.
Well, I was thinking we should go to Colorado. Oh, were you talking, Eric? I think you might have been muted.
Oh no, I was gonna say though that if you're hearing that sound of a screenshot, that I'm not taking pictures of you guys. Just so you know, I'm working on I'm updating my delivery specs page, and I'm trying to include this bit about metadata and why it's important to include metadata in the AAF typical setting. So I'm taking pictures of how the metadata looks on my end, so people understand. Yeah, I posted something on Facebook because someone sent me a project from Resolve, and it's just like a nightmare.
Why don't you just do it in Resolve?
I feel like that would take 10 times as longer.
Have you been in the Fairlight tab?
I only play with Resolve when I can't get an AAF out. When someone sends an AAF, because I have Pro Tools, I have all of them. I have Pro Tools, Audition, Logic, blah 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 blah. But I prefer using Nuendo 10.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one to use. But you have to have Pro Tools too. So.
Well, I've only tried a little bit, and I haven't been. How do I put this? Like I did my first Pro Tools session in '97, and I've used them all, Logic and Pro Tools and Nuendo, and what was the Cool Edit 16 or something? There was a GarageBand. Cakewalk, yeah. But the Fairlight tab is nice, in my opinion, because you don't have to leave. Like
that's why they make it so difficult to export out of it.
Really?
They don't want you to leave.
Well, I've been trying to. I'm a Final Cut 10 fan. My business partner is a Premiere fan, and I've been trying to talk him into, since we own 7 Resolve licenses, to like just switch completely over to Resolve, because I run into the same issues when I have to take the Premiere timeline and bring it over and then take it back, and round tripping is
right.
If you have a talented assistant editor who knows how to prepare for the round tripping, it's not an issue at all. But when you have an editor who's just used to just delivering, just hitting export and having 17 tracks of video and all, just Resolve doesn't like that. Well, guys, I'm gonna go back upstairs and double check on the family and make sure that I'm not in trouble for spending almost an hour on live stream here. But thank you so much for the test.
Yeah, anytime.
And the
No
feedback.
worries.
And to our one viewer, thank you for watching.
All right, I'll sign off.
All right. Thank you, sir. Well, guys, that's pretty much it. We're going to try to be doing this as often as possible over the